Afternoon everybody, hope you're doing really well. I'm in the shade, aren't I? The sun is behind me. So, another beautiful adventure awaits us today. I'm off to find the ruins of St. Peter's Church. More importantly, this is going to be a beautiful walk. So, the River Great Ouse, which is down there, and there's loads of canal boats there, probably parked up for the winter. And we're going to cross an old bridge. So I can see it now. We're going to do that, and then we've got a nice little walk to get this beautiful ruin. Another one, isn't it? So I'm really looking forward to it. More importantly, I look forward to taking you along with me. And even though there might not be that much to see, well, you'll know the history is amazing. But before we do that, I want to show you the bridge first. Then you can have your history lesson. Come on. And that's just the prettiest thing, except for the graffiti. But what a beautiful bridge. And then on this wonderful Great River Ouse. Let's go across it, because I need to show you this before you have your history lesson, because it's just really nice, it's really pretty. Might be able to see the chapel from here, I'm hoping, actually. Oh, look at this. Oh yeah, it's lovely. Look at that. Oh, that's magical. That is so magical. Let's look on the other side. Wow. Hear the birds in the bushes. And there, oh there it is. Right. In yonder distance, just there, finger of doom, is where we need to go. So, without further ado, enjoy your history lesson. What a beautiful area. Come on, let's go. Ruins are great examples of how, when abandoned over time, what's left transforms into something simply beautiful in its own right. And no greater example of that is the ruin of St. Peter's Church. Located at the northern end of Milton Keynes, the whole area is well worth a walk in its own right. The church probably started life around the mid-12th century, although when walking around this fabulous ruin, it's hard to imagine that at one time this would have been a central focal hub for the then medieval parish of Stanton. Originally growing up alongside the manor of Santon, the village at the time would have only contained 8 peasant households. But it was around the 1500s when new landowners had closed the fields surrounding the church for use of sheep farming, and so 40 parishioners at the time became evicted. With very little work available, it was around the mid-18th century that only the adjacent manor house and 3 small dwellings remained. With the introduction of the railways in the local area, the church enjoyed a brief resurgence, but it was short-lived when the newer built St James Church at New Bradwell became more convenient. It was then by the mid-20th century that the church was slowly turning into the ruin that you see now, with the final nail in the coffin being in the 1960s when Stantonbury was destroyed during quarrying in the area. What's left now is an incredible ruin which hopefully serves as a reminder of the long-lost history of this wonderful part of Milton Keynes, and in my opinion well worth a visit should you be in the area. Okay, so before we start our journey, I just want to bring this to your attention because this is Stantonbury Manor. I had to get that right. There's nothing really here except for some live foundations, which was a 17th century manor. Yeah, and gardens, had to check. I won't be doing this, obviously, on this channel, this one, because there is literally nothing here. It's just a few foundations. In fact, if you look at it, I mean, yeah, I could do a video on it, you can see, but not today. Today, obviously, we need to focus on this amazing church that's right next to it, Church St Peter. So, in essence, you can get a good history fix if you are here. So, you know, but for today, we're doing the church because the church is wonderful and it's a proper ruin. So let's actually have a look at it. Come on. Right, so we are here, obviously, because we weren't that far away to begin with. What a beautiful ruin, and it's so busy with dog walkers today and people just wandering around, so it's nice to see actually. And when you look, a lot of people are walking around taking photos. It's amazing, really. Obviously, you're not allowed to climb on it for obvious reasons. It is a ruin, got to show some respect, but it's just so pretty. Again, goes to the fact of what I always say about ruins, is that there's something very magical and pretty about them. Obviously, it went into decline in the 19th century, so you know it had a good shelf life. I love the way that this wintry sun is sort of casting a lot of shadows, even though it's very bright when you look at it. Gives it this eerie, mystical quality to it. Absolutely stunning. Right, so I think the best thing to do is actually have a look inside. Come on. Something about this church that feels so remote about its location, and I suppose technically we are, even though there's lots of modern housing estates that back up onto the hill near the canal or the river. It's amazing really to sort of feel like this is a quite a humble sort of church really, for all intents and purposes, and yet it's been packed full so much, it's got so much history contained within it, that it's amazing to sort of see. And it just tells such a beautiful story about ruins and conservation, more importantly, and how important they are onto the local community, and how the fact that they still survive. You know, no question people have been climbing on all this and taking a look, but, you know, I mean, it's magical. Look at this. The outer frame of that window, I mean, amazing. You can imagine at one point the light coming through that. Spectacular. Like I said, just all intents and purposes, just a humble church. Feels like something you'd sort of go to if you go to Scotland and the remote parts. It has that sort of like the way that it's built. You know, it just has this sort of very remote quality to it the moment you're inside it. Some of these tombs and graves that are still here. And even though there's a lot of dog walkers and people around, it does contain that very sort of tranquil atmosphere to it. I'll tell you what, if you're somebody who's got a canal boat and you've happened to sort of come across here, you're literally a stone's throw away from exploring this wonderful ruin. So bonus, isn't it, really? Right, what we'll do is, I think, let's walk around it. I think it'd be nice, because we sort of explored what's here, and we should have a look round, I think, so let's go. So, I want to look at some of these. Also to the memory of Thomas Milton Selby, or Selby, he was a Peaky Blinder, died November 14, 19 1913. It actually comes out, but I'm looking at actually the camera because it's actually coming out better on there. In memory of Henrietta, the beloved wife of Thomas Million Selby. Amazing. I can't read the age. 1903 that looks like. Oh. God, I can't read that for toffee. 1913. 1903? Maybe. Sacred memory of, I can't read that, Stevens, someone, Thomas Stevens? No, something Stevens that says. Well, that's really hard to read. I cannot read that at all. Aged something years. No, not sure. But didn't that just prove, like, the fact of how worn away all this is? How time just slowly takes it away from us. There's probably a moral lesson in there somewhere. But, oh, it's lovely. It's just so pretty. Wow, what a beautiful place. More importantly, I actually really love the walk. I'm actually going to really love the walk back. It's only like a 10-minute walk, but so nice. Free parking as well. And there's a coffee place. God, spoilt on this one today. And there's a seagull. Oh wow, though, this is so nice. Well, I suppose we should end it there, really, on a nice note. We've explored the inside, and we've had a look at some of the graves. So, in the immortal words of Phoenix history, thank you so much for coming along with me. Hopefully you really enjoyed this mini little video. And because history matters, doesn't it just? Wow. I'm going to enjoy this one. I'm going to chill out and enjoy it, I think. So, yeah, hopefully you like that. Because history matters, and I'll see you all very soon. Look after yourselves, everybody. Take care. Ready? Cut out.